Hello everyone, welcome to another video series from Uplatz. In this series, I'm going to give you an overview about another technology which is used for creation of web applications called as JavaServer Pages or JSP. So in my previous video series, I had given you a very good overview of servlets, which is another technology which is used in the creation of a web application. So what is a web application basically? I will give you one example. An online shopping cart can be considered as an application, can be considered as an example for a web application. So web application has many components like servlets, JSPs, HTML pages, CSS, and so on. Now, there are other applications called as enterprise application. So I will tell you what is the difference between a web application and enterprise application. You might have heard about JW, Java Enterprise Application. So what is an enterprise edition? It is JW means enterprise edition. Now I'm talking about what is an enterprise application. So enterprises applications are not like web applications. They have other components apart from servlets and JSPs. They have other component called as EJB, that is Enterprise Java Bean. Applications like banking applications, which has a number of business logic, where you have to implement a number of business logic, can be considered as an enterprise application. A telecom application is an example for an enterprise application. So let us try to learn more about JSP. I'm going to show you a presentation for the same. So JSP is a server-side technology used for creating dynamic web applications using Java as the programming language. So you should have a clarity about what is the difference between a static page as well as a dynamic page. So JSP is some technology that is used to create a dynamic page. So what is the difference between a static and a dynamic page? Suppose I am asking the server for a login.html. Okay, I'm requesting the server. I'm the client. I'm requesting the server for a login.html page. That is a static request, because the server, what it does is, if the request is for an HTML page, the container will not do any execution on the server side. What it will do is, container will read the content of the HTML page, and that content is transferred to the browser, and the browser executes the HTML that is being transferred as a response to the client. Okay, client means browser. So static pages are those pages that are executed without using any resource on the server side. Okay, that is what is meant by a static page. That is, it's not executing any resource on the server side. Okay, that is what is meant by a static page. Now suppose I am using a website. I am sending request to a server to find the sum of two numbers, that is 30 and 40. At the same, so what the server has to do, the server has to read the numbers, it has to perform the addition, and it has to send me the response. Another client, what he is asking the server the sum of a set of another two numbers, that is 100 and 180. So the server cannot just pass a response back to the client. The server has to perform the addition operation on the server side, create that at the runtime, and then transfer the response back to the client. Such type of pages are called as, it will be using, the server will be using the help, the container will be using a resources like servlets or JSPs to generate that dynamic response and transfer that response back to the client. That is the difference between static and dynamic. So JSP is a server-side technology that is used for creating dynamic web applications. It can be thought of as an extension to Servlet because it provides more functionality than Servlet, such as expression language, JSTL, etc. Basically, a JSP is translated to a Servlet. We will be coming to that later in my later videos. Try and just understand that it is just an extension to Servlet, and you get more functionality than what you got inside a Servlet. We'll be learning all these things in details. So a JSP page consists of HTML tags and JSP tags. So JSP, an HTML page, I can convert it into a JSP by just changing the extension. Suppose I have login.html I can just convert that to login.jsp to work fine. So in a JSP page basically consists of HTML tags as well as JSP tags. So it is very easy. Let me tell you, it is a very easy language to learn. Compared to servlets, JSP is very much easier. The JSP pages are easier to maintain than Servlet because we can separate designing and development. So the business logic is separated in a JSP page from the presentation logic. So it is very easier to maintain. It provides some additional features such as expression language, custom tags, etc. Basically, any HTML file can be converted to JSP file by just changing the file extension from .html to .jsp. That's what I said earlier. That is, you can convert an HTML file to a JSP page. What differentiates? Now you will ask me, suppose what is the difference then? What if you say that you can just change the extension, then what is the difference between a JSP and an HTML? Let me tell you, the differentiation comes that is its ability to use Java code inside HTML. You can use Java code inside HTML. That is how the difference comes between JSP and HTML. We will be learning all those tags. In JSP, you can embed Java code in HTML. So I can put it in a better way, that I can embed the Java code in HTML using JSP tags. Now, let us try to understand. I hope you are familiar with servlets. So if you want to learn servlets, you should know Java very well. Okay, the features of some of the features of Java, like method overriding, how to use interfaces, all those things, you should have a clear clarity on those things if you have to learn servlets. But let me tell you, in JSP, it is it's much easier to learn. Even if you don't have Java knowledge, and if you have a fair understanding of how to present things, that is how to use HTML, you can learn JSP very easily. So JSP technology is extension to servlet technology. We can use all the features of the servlet inside JSP. And in addition to that, we can use implicit objects, redefined tags, expression language, and custom tags in JSP. That makes JSP development easy. JSP development is much easier when compared to servlets. So I'll tell you what is an implicit object. So like in servlets, I had given you an overview about session. Since HTTP is a stateless protocol, we have to use session in JSP in order to maintain the state, okay, state of the user or user in order to manage the user data. So how we created session in JSP? I have to create an object of session, that is HTTP session. Session is equal to request.getSession. I had to write explicitly the code to create the session object, whereas by default you get the session object in JSP. It's implicitly available to it. I don't have to instantiate the HTTP session class. Implicitly, I can get the session object. So that is one we will build. Please don't worry about all those now. Just give you an example, small example. That's it. It is very easy to maintain. JSP can be easily managed because we can easily separate our business logic with presentation logic. In servlet technology, we mix our business. That is a major disadvantage of servlets. We mix our business, so it becomes very complicated for the developer. You mix your business logic with the presentation logic. Then, this is another advantage of JSP. You no need to recompile and redeploy. If you make any change in a servlet, you have to recompile it and then redeploy on the server side. Whereas in JSP, you have to just refresh the page. So there is no need to recompile the project. Now, less code than servlet. In JSP, we can use many tags such as action tags, JSTL, custom tags, which reduces the code. Moreover, we can use EL, that is a short form for expression language, implicit objects, etc. Don't worry us hearing all these terminologies. We will be learning them in a very systematic manner. So, this is the directory structure for JSP. This is the root. Under root, you might have, I will show you this in Eclipse. So just you should keep this at the back of your mind, that there is some directory structure. That is, what is meant by directory structure? That is, there are places to put things in the Eclipse package explorer or project explorer. So there is a root and SRC. Under SRC, you keep the .java, and under WebINF, you have the classes, lib, and then under this context root, you can keep the .jsp, .html, .javascript, etc. So this is a directory structure. The directory structure JSP page is same as that of a servlet. We contain the JSP page outside the web folder, web-inf folder, or in any directory. We contain, so where to keep the JSP page in this directory structure? We keep the, you can see that .jsp is kept under the root. Okay. So you can keep it wherever you want. You can keep it inside the web_inf also. I will tell you how to do that. Let us try to create, go to Eclipse and try to create a JSP to print hello world. So this is a directory structure. So let me just open up Eclipse. So we are going to create our first JSP web project. So I'm going to create under file, go to new, as usual, dynamic web project. This is how you create a servlet project also. Just click on dynamic web project. I'm going to give this application name as hello first. Click on next. Next. Then it will ask me whether I need the generate web.xml deployment descriptor. You should check this box. Container always reads this. Time being, just understand. I will be discussing in detail about the JSP lifecycle in the next video. Time being, just understand that you have to check this box. Now click on finish. It is installing. It will take some 2 minutes. Please bear with me. Yeah, so this is my first hello first JSP application. So come under this and you can see that there are many folders. You see, these are the main folders: Java resources. Then you have this web content. Expand this web content. You have this web_inf. Web_inf, you have this web.xml or deployment descriptor. So this is what I checked the box. So you have this welcome file. Like this, you can have these things over here. So I'm going to create my first JSP page under this web content. Okay. So under this web content, just right click on this and you get this option new. Click on new and you have this JSP file. So I'm going to name this as hello.jsp. So it is JSP files will have this .jsp extension. Click on next. Click on finish. So this is a JSP page. You can see this. The moment you see this, a page language is equal to Java, content type is equal to text or HTML, character set is equal to UTF-8. So this is how this would be there at the top of a JSP page. Language is Java. Okay. And then you have the usual HTML tags. This is what I showed you in the presentation, that if you have a fair idea of HTML, it's very, very easy to learn JSP. So this is my header and body. So this is the body part. And inside the body part, we are going to do a hello world. So I will write the h1 tag. Welcome to JSP technology. So I have written like HTML, you know the meaning of H1. H1 means it's a header. So I want to give this, I'm just printing welcome to JSP technology. That's it. JSP technology from Uplatz. So this is the header. I'll put everything in caps. And if you want to style this, what is meant by styling? I just want to add some color to the page. So what I should do is come to this header part. It's the same thing which we do in HTML. So we add a style tag, that is CSS capabilities I'm adding. The meaning of adding the style tag is I'm adding CSS capabilities to this HTML file. Okay. So I want to give, you have given this header inside the body. So in the body, you write like this, body, and you write here body background hyphen color colon red. Okay, I'm going to give the body a red, becomes way too bright. I don't want red color. I'm going to give my favorite color, that's aqua, bluish color. So I have given the body some background. Okay, fine, that's it. And now how once this web application runs, where should this be? This should be the first page. Okay, so in order to show that in the first page, where you should keep it, this is the deployment descriptor. The server, the container reads this. The container Tomcat reads this. Okay, so in this welcome file, I should have this index.jsp. That is, just time being, just understand that the server reads this page before displaying it to the what all components are there in your web application. How the server understands that you have these many pages to load and stuff. The server reads the web.xml or the deployment descriptor. So in that deployment, this is the web.xml deployment descriptor. So in that there is a welcome file list, which means that this will be displayed as the first page. So I am giving this, what is the name of my JSP page? It is hello.jsp. So I'm telling the server, just load this page as the first one, hello.jsp. Now let us save this. It's taking some time. Now I'm going to run this project. So in order to run this project, what you should do is, something is happening. Right click on this, run as, run on server. You have this option, run as, run on server. So you have to select your server, and my server is Tomcat. I will tell you how to download and install Eclipse and how to configure Tomcat inside your Eclipse. I will be giving a link to all those things, where to download and stuff. So this is my server. Time being, please understand that I have not used much components, just simple HTML I have used. So Tomcat server, click on next. And then click on finish. So your page will be loaded now. The server, you can see that the server is started. So you can see the output, that is welcome to, this is what I had written. This was the content inside the JSP page, that is welcome to JSP technology from Uplatz. So I want to change this header to red. So we can do something here. Come to your hello.jsp. H1 style is equal to, you can write like the style is equal to color colon red. And let me just refresh this page. I'll clean this project. Refresh the page. So you can see that the color changed from black to red. So what did I do in this page? That is, I added a style inside the this tag itself. I added the style attribute. So this color I had given as colon red, okay, and put one semicolon. So you can add colors to it. So you can do many things. We will discuss all those. So now I would like to show you one more thing. So that is all in this. That is, we can create this JSP insert. Now you can see, where did I create? This is what I told in the beginning. See the directory structure. So I have created this hello.jsp under this web content. Okay. Now, that is all from this video. Continue watching. We will be starting with what JSP tags and the JSP lifecycle. I'll be discussing JSP lifecycle, and I will just mention the software requirements also in the next video. Thank you so much.